Okay, I see there's three people. Can you guys hear me? I just want to test the sound. Can you guys hear me? Okay, thank you, Sarah. Okay, we're gonna start in a few minutes. I'm just waiting for the rest of the guys to come in. Let's give it maybe 5 minutes and let's see how many people join us, and then we'll start. We'll continue. Okay, what's the time now? It's 2 minutes, 19:38. So when it's 19:40, then we're gonna start. So let's give it 2 more minutes, and then we're gonna start. Okay, it's fine. Let's start. The other guys will join us later, or they'll come and watch this video on YouTube. Thank you for joining. So today we're we're gonna carry on our some applications that we use in data classification. How do we identify sensitive data? So when users are trying to or when users are processing or sharing sensitive data, how do we identify that they are sharing sensitive data, and how do we protect that sensitive data? So I'm going to show you the tools that we use to do all to do that process. So for those of you who were here last week, we did speak about this data classification. If you were not part of our class last week, there is a video here on YouTube where we speak about data classification. You can go watch that video. You'll get to understand a bit more what this means. I'll just give a brief description again. Basically, a way of identifying which data is most sensitive in a company, and how do you protect it. So data classification is basically you determine which data is more important, and the data, or which data will bring the company down if it gets lost or if it gets into the wrong hands. And then I gave an example that if I work or if I own a pharmaceutical company, which data will be more sensitive or more confidential? Most likely, it would be all the formulas, um, all the formulas that we use to create all the medication. That data will be the most confidential data in a pharmaceutical company, because if another company get hold of that information, then they can definitely bring us down, and they can produce all that medication that we are producing. So that's what data classification is all about. Then I'm going to show you how we in a company identify sensitive data. So in Microsoft, we have different tools. Microsoft Purview. Microsoft Purview is this tool here. This is what we use. So this is Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Okay. I see I'm not sharing. Let me share my screen. Yeah. So now you can see my screen. This is Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So this is one of the tools, but there are many, many tools that you can use for data protection. This is one of them. Okay, I'm going to open Microsoft Purview. I'm going to click here. Okay, and then I'm going to go to Microsoft um, Purview. Okay, let me share this tab again. So I'm going to focus on these tools today. SIT. SIT stands for Sensitive Information Type. And then this one, Trainable Classifiers. These are the tools that we use basically to um, detect or identify sensitive data in any organization. And we can find these tools. We're going to start with this one, Sensitive Information Type. What is this? So this one will help us identify structured patterns like credit cards, um, ID numbers, social security numbers, any specific keyword that you define. So, for example, if I work in a bank, I'm a security or data security administrator in a bank, and I want to monitor if there are employees maybe who are trying to share sensitive data to people outside. Maybe they're trying to share credit card numbers with some people outside so that they can commit fraud. I would use something like this sensitive information type. So I'm going to go back to Microsoft Purview. Okay, just I'm just trying to share a link with someone to join us on this live. Okay, let's proceed. Yeah, so now I am on this screen here. Let me refresh and go back to the home screen. So I'm going to come here. I will go to data loss prevention. Then I'm going to come here, classifiers. So these are the tools that we use for identifying sensitive data. So for now, I'm going to focus on this one, sensitive information type, which is this one here, sensitive information type. Okay, let me increase my screen size and then you can see a bit better. Now, as you can see on my screen, it shows all the sensitive information types that are available. So these come uh, pre-configured. So when you buy this Microsoft Purview, all of them come pre-configured, configured. But you can create your own custom sensitive type. For example, I'm in South Africa, so let's search South Africa. Let's see what kind of pre-configured sensitive types are there for South Africa. You see, so it's only identity or identification number and physical address. So it doesn't show a lot more things for South Africa. So I'm gonna have to create my own custom ones if I want to detect sensitive data for South Africa. So let me show an example here. So as you can see here, for Australia, they have bank account numbers, driver's license, medical account number. So all of these things, I don't have them for South Africa. So if I wanted to create my own ones, I'm gonna have to come here. Okay, let me click here and then just show you how it looks like when you try to create one. I'm gonna give it a name. Maybe I'll say South African driver's license. Okay, I deleted South African driver's license. Now let's say I'm a security administrator in a testing center, license testing center in South Africa. I want to monitor all the South African or the driver's licenses which are being processed and that are being shared by the employees. Let's see, I want to see what they send outside, or I want to monitor it. I'll create something like this. Then I'll click create pattern, then I'll add. I can add regular expression, or I can even add the keyword list here. Take the keywords that are on the driver's license, I can add them here so that when anyone or any of the employees try to share information with those particular keywords, then it will be detected, and I'll be able to see that, oh, somebody's trying to share the information with those keywords that I have specified. Okay, let me go back. I'll come back here. So that's what a sensitive information type can do. So it's something that can be used for structured data. There's a difference between structured data and unstructured data. So let me give you an example here. I'm going to open a document and you can see. So unstructured data can be something like a source code. Those of you who are software developers or programmers, you know what a source code is. A structured data is something like um, a document that has tables and rows and columns. It's readable. So I just want to give you an example of a structured data, then you can see. Okay, I'm going to share this screen. So this will be a structured data. because everything is in order, everything is in a special or a row or a column. So that's what structured data is. Unstructured data will look something like uh, source code. Yeah, something like this. So those of you who are programmers or software developers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So this one, sensitive information type, it identifies structured patterns, credit card numbers, ID numbers, and keywords on structured documents. Trainable classifiers, this one is different. Remember, this one is pre-configured. It comes with this product, Microsoft product. This one is a trainable classifier. It uses AI, so it doesn't use specific patterns or keywords. It uses AI to recognize content based on context, meaning rather than specific words, organizations create their own classifiers by training them, meaning you train them just like AI, right? AI is something that you have to train. So you can create your own AI if you want to. You can even train it. So here we do the same thing. Trainable classifiers is something that you train. I'll go back to Microsoft, the Microsoft platform, then you can see. Okay, I'll come back here on Microsoft Purview. Okay, and then I'll open data loss prevention. I'll go to classifiers. Now I'm gonna go here. So last time I was showing you this one, now I'm gonna show you this one. Trainable classifier. So let's give it, yeah, there it is. So these are built-in trainable classifiers. These ones, they come with this platform, with this Microsoft platform, but you can create your own. So for example, let's say I work in HR and I want to monitor, let's say, payslips, or I work in legal department. I want to monitor sensitive contracts. There is an option which I can use here, but I can even create my own one. Let me see if I can find something about uh, the legal affairs, legal deeds. There's even profanity. So the other day, what happened in the company is some two guys we were talking to each other using profanity, or they were just basically they're just swearing at each other using emails, and our DLP system was able to pick that up based on the words that they were using. So when you use like profanity, you're swearing at someone. As a DLP administrator, I'm able to pick that up based on these trainable classifiers. They alert me that this person is using the keyword or the words that can be classified under this profanity. Then it sends me an alert and it sends me the person details and I can see. or this person is sending this kind of email to this person, and this other person is also responding with this kind of words which are classified as profanity. So you can use it for different things. If you want to monitor healthcare information or medical files for those guys who work in hospitals, if you are a security administrator in a hospital, you'll probably use things like this. And then it tells you the healthcare content, examples, medical records, health benefits, documents, insurance forms, prior authorization, referral forms. So if there's an administrator in a hospital who's trying to steal um, sensitive information like medical records, health benefits, and anything like that, this system here will alert you. It will detect when somebody is copying this or trying to send it to someone who's not supposed to have it. Maybe they're trying to send it to someone outside, and this will it will detect or block depending on how you set it up. So this is the trainable classifier. So the difference between these two, sensitive information type and trainable classifiers. This one is for structured information or structured data. This one can be used for unstructured data, right? If a software developer in maybe in my company is trying to steal the source code for the new application that we are creating, then this trainable classifier will identify that this is what you'll use. You'll use this one. Okay, let's go to the next page. Okay, let me see if you guys were able to understand a bit of what I was saying there. Okay, I'll come back here. I'll come back on these questions. So let's talk about this one, sensitive information type. I did touch on it. So how does it work? There's different ways of doing it. There's three methods of implementing this one. You can basically use the manual way. So manual is basically users apply labels manually. Basically, you just identify the data. You say, okay, this kind of data is confidential. Then you apply a label. How do you apply a label? For those who were joining us last week, I did show you. I'm gonna share it here. Then I'm gonna just give a small demonstration of how we apply a label to classify maybe data or an email as sensitive or confidential. So I'm gonna open a new email. Let's say maybe this is a very confidential um, email. Maybe I'm sending credit card numbers to um, another client. So if I'm doing it manually, I would just come and click here, right? And then identify it as a confidential. Then I'll just click confidential. Then it's labeled here as confidential. But if I was using this pattern-based classification, if I was not doing it manually like I just did now, pattern-based classification, the sensitive information type will recognize the predefined pattern, such as the credit card number. So that means immediately when this data was here, it was going to be recognized by this. Let me show you. So these predefined um, sensitive information types that come with this software, they were going to detect that credit card number on the email. So there it is, credit card number. So these were going to detect. So this here, credit card number, it was going to detect this, and then it was going to assign the appropriate label here. It was going to assign the confidential label automatically based on this. And based on this. So it's different from the manual process. And then let's talk about this one, AI-powered classification. Trainable classifiers use AI models to recognize data based on meaning and context rather than the predefined patterns. So that's the difference between this one, sensitive information type, and trainable classifiers. This one uses AI, so it tries to understand the meaning behind the data in the context. So let's go back to that Microsoft platform. So this one uses predefined patterns, but this one here, it uses AI, meaning that if I'm using this trainable classifiers instead of sensitive info type, it tries to read and understand the context of the data that I am sharing. Meaning, so basically what they're saying is that this one, sensitive information type, sometimes it can make false positive because it doesn't read the context of the data that I'm processing or sharing. But this one, it's a bit more accurate because it's AI, right? And this one, it can read unstructured data. It can read source codes. It can read um, a letter that's not typed, that doesn't have structure. So it can read a lot of data compared to this one. It knows how to read contracts, business plans, so all of this information here. So if maybe in the company I'm looking after sensitive information, I'll definitely try and use this because it's gonna be able to read a lot more, um, data or unstructured data. This is also good, but it's good for structured data. It works well where the data is structured. Okay, let's go back here. And then when it comes to sensitive information types, so like I said, you can create your own custom ones and you can use different options in terms of how you create your own one. You can use keywords. I did show you keywords. I'll show you again for those who missed it. You can use exact data match, meaning that anyone who types a specific um, or words that are matching exactly what I'm looking for, then they'll be detected. And I can use this one, document fingerprinting. This one basically it copies the document as it is. So, for example, if I work at maybe the Department of Home Affairs, and then they want me to look after the security of birth certificates, for example. What would happen if I was using this one, document fingerprinting? I would need to upload a sample of birth certificates into the Microsoft platform so that it gets to learn and understand how exactly the structure of birth certificates looks. Let me go back to Microsoft platform, then I can show you. Okay, let's try and create sensitive info type. Okay, you see there's another option here. It says create fingerprint based. Let me go back. Okay, sensitive info types. Yeah, here's the option. Create fingerprint based sensitive info type. Okay, I'm just gonna give it a name and say birth certificates. I'm gonna give it another name here or description. Next. So it gives me an option for uploading. So here I'm gonna have to upload samples or examples of what a birth certificate looks like, so that the system gets to learn and so that when somebody tries to uh, send that information or send a birth certificate somewhere or to someone, that the system will know exactly how a birth certificate looks like because already it has captured what I've uploaded here. And you see, it shows that the minimum must be 4,000 characters. So I'm gonna have to upload like a multiple birth certificates so that it gets to know exactly. So I can't just upload one. I need like different examples of what a birth certificate is looks like. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, let's have a look at some um, questions. Let's see if you guys were able to grasp and understand some of the things that I was showing you right now. Uh, okay, we'll come back. I just want to finish. Okay, let's have a look at trainable classifiers. They use AI, right, to identify and categorize data. But the big thing about it is that, or the good thing about it is that because data doesn't follow a predictable format, so trainable classifiers, they can assist you in that. They can identify complex data, like I said, things like unstructured data, like source codes or complicated data. Trainable classifiers can detect that, and it can reduce manual reliance. Instead of me coming here on the email or on Outlook, so instead of me trying to do this manually, trying to highlight this as a confidential email or a sensitive email, the trainable classifiers will do this automatically. So they will improve the compliance and security automatically, recognizing the content that should be protected. Another thing is that organizations can train their own classifiers, right? So if I work in HR and I'm trying to ensure that the system is able to recognize CVs when people apply, then I can use this trainable classifiers to say this is what a CV looks like. I can get 50 CVs, upload them, and then whenever someone is trying to process CV, then the system will be able to detect based on what we've trained it on. So this is basically like just like AI. And then another thing is that trainable classifiers can help you. Um, provides pre-trained classifiers for specific type of content such as offensive language, resume CV that I was talking about, source code, so it can help you track and protect your sensitive code. Maybe you're building new applications in your company, you can protect it using um, classifiers. Let's scroll down. But like just like AI, ne, when you're starting out with trainable classifier, of course they will require that initial training and review process. So it might be so in the beginning or process or in the beginning process, it might be a bit cumbersome because you have to train, give it upload documents, and give it context so that. But after a while, then it will get better and better at detecting sensitive data. It will do the job easier for you because it will automate the whole process. So one negative is that they don't work or it doesn't work on encrypted content. So for those of you who did A plus or N plus, you understand what this is, encryption, right? If I can open a tab here, you can understand what encryption is. Encryption is just hiding data so that it doesn't get to unauthorized people, or in case if they get hold of it, then they don't get to see the message that you are sharing. So encryption is, yeah, hiding data to ensure that only the authorized person can see it. So if I was sending maybe a secret message, this is a secret. Maybe I'm sending this message and I don't want anyone else to see it. I will encrypt it. This is just a web tool, just demonstrate how encryption works. So now the message is clear here. I'm the sender, and I'm trying to encrypt it so that I don't want anyone else to see it. Then I'll just say secret, secret key, then encrypt. So now the data is encrypted. So the message will be changed from this to this. Now it's encrypted. So whoever get hold of this message or intercepts it, they won't see the secret message. They'll just see this encryption. But once the message gets to the relevant person, then they'll enter the key. They'll enter the key here, and then they can see the message, right? This is the process that happens on WhatsApp when you're sending a chat to someone. WhatsApp is end-to-end encryption, so it does pretty much the same thing. Let's go back here. So that's one of the negatives for trainable classifiers. It doesn't work on the message that's encrypted, and it only classifies content that's located on these Microsoft platforms. So it works only on the Microsoft ecosystem, right? But like I said, Microsoft is not the only platform that provides this service. There are other companies like this one, Security. I'm gonna share my screen. Security, Security AI. This one. So this is something that I'm currently reviewing. The company is trying to buy um, this one or another product. So I'm currently reviewing this one and testing this one. So it's not only Microsoft that can do it. There are different other platforms that can give you similar things, and they work outside of the Microsoft ecosystem. Okay, let's go back here. And also, when you're creating these trainable classifiers or custom ones, um, or when you're uploading the documents to train it, you must give it the correct documents, but you must also give it the documents which are not correct so that it can be able to identify the difference. So it's basically the same thing that they do with AI, right? When they're trying to train it for it to identify what a car is, what it looks like, they would feed it pictures of what a car looks like, and then they would also feed it an animal. They'll feed it a picture of a bike, a picture of a house, a picture of a tree, and then they would tell it, okay, a car is this, and then a tree is this, a bike. Then eventually, after a while, it's able to identify what is a car and what is a tree. So they're doing it so that it knows the difference. So the same thing that you will do here if you're implementing this trainable classifiers. So if I'm in HR, I'm trying to train it so that it can be able to detect CVs. Uh, I must also upload documents which are not CVs, maybe just um, letters or Word documents which are not CVs, maybe Excel documents, so that it can be able to differentiate between the two, what is a CV and what is not a CV. Okay, let's go back. Let's go to this question here. Okay, let's start on this one. What is the primary purpose of including both relevant and irrelevant documents when training a trainable class? So this is something that I was just talking about. So you should know the answer for this one. You can type your answer in the chat if you think you know the answer. I can even show you a hint there. What do you think is the answer on this one? A, B, C, or D? Why would we give it the correct information and the incorrect information? What's the purpose of doing that? Yes, that's correct. Zero, it's D. Okay. Which of the following is a key advantage of a trainable classifier over sensitive information types? What's the difference between these two? I can give you a hint. Which one would you say is more accurate between the two? I gave you an answer. So the difference between the two, I'll give you an answer. Trainable classifiers uses AI. So this one, it becomes more accurate. Um, yes, when it's starting out, you will have to train it. It might take some time, but it becomes more accurate in detecting sensitive data. This one is it comes with preset um, patterns. So it doesn't use AI, it doesn't adapt. So it stays in that setting that it came with. This one. Okay, let's go to number 3. What is the foundational first step for an organization to effectively protect sensitive data? Okay, I'll give you a hint on this one. Like, how would I identify what is sensitive data in a company? What is the first thing that I must do? So the first thing, I'll give you an answer. I'll have to scan the environment we use so that I can know what sensitive data is there, exists in the environment. I'll share this screen. There we go. I'll come here. You can use this to scan the environment to know what sensitive or what data is available in the environment. Data catalog. So this will discover all the data that's there, and then from there on, that's when I can start the process of trying to identify what is sensitive, what is not. I can start the process of training um, this system, and then I can start uploading examples. Different departments they can give as the security administrator. Maybe different departments they can give examples of documents which are sensitive, then I can start uploading them onto the platform so that it can start learning and identify what is sensitive, and then therefore it will be able to protect it. Let's go back to the questions. So a key difference between trainable classifiers and sensitive information types is that trainable classifiers do what? I think this one you should know the answer. Sayed, you're saying OWASP. Which one is it? A, B, C, or D? Here's a hint. Trainable classifiers, they use AI. I think I gave you an answer. So what is the answer? If I say AI, then what would be the answer? Answer is C, no? Machine learning. Yes. Machine learning. No? AI machine learning. Okay. Number five, which of the following is a limitation of a trainable classifier? So what's the limitation of a trainable classifier? I did give you an example. So I did say uh, I did say I'm looking at this product or at this application. What's the reason why I'm busy looking at this application? So what's the limitation of a trainable classifier on Microsoft? It's limited to, let me give you a hint. Sharon, you are correct. It's limited to Microsoft ecosystem. SharePoint, OneDrive, Exchange, and all of it. So, okay, let's go to number six. A key function of a keyword based SIT is to, I think this one should be easy. The words is, or the answer is right there in the question. Let's show you the hint. The answer is right there in the question. If you look in the question, the answer is there. So a key function of a keyword based SIT is to define sensitive data patterns using specific keywords. So this is what I was showing you, this one. Let me go back to the Microsoft Home. I'll click on data loss prevention, classifiers, sensitive information type, and then I'm creating sensitive info. Let's say I want to monitor or I want to monitor or block um, driver's license. So I'll create a pattern. So I can come here, I can use different methods of detecting. So I'll say I can use a regular expression, I can use a keyword list, keyword dictionary, or functions. So you can use different methods. Keyword list. Um, I can enter the specific keywords that I'm trying to monitor. So if someone tries to send a file or an email that consists of those specific keywords, then the system, yeah, this Microsoft system will detect all of that, and it will either alert me or block that transfer, depending on how I set it up. Okay, let's go back to options. So, what is the benefit of using an exact data match (SIT) over a keyword-based SIT? So, the keyword here is exact data match. So, what do you think is the answer here? So, think about if I'm trying to detect something specific and I want that detection to be accurate. I'll give you an answer. I'll show you a hint. Yes, you are correct, Sharon. It's this one, more accurate method, right? So, for example, if I'm trying to detect or monitor a specific ID number, or a specific, let's say I work in a bank, there's a specific account number that I'm monitoring, and I'm trying to see what's happening on that account number. If there's somebody who's stealing money from it or doing something fraudulent, I would use exact data match and type that exact account number onto the Microsoft platform so that it's able to detect that correct account number. Okay, let's look at this one. Keyword to answer is known as its equivalent to exact. Yeah. Um, but remember, this system sometimes they can give you false positives. So Sometimes you want, like, exactly that thing that you're looking. Number 8, the human resource department needs to classify all new hire paperwork, which is unstructured data. Which classification method would be most effective? So for unstructured data, which classification method will be most effective? So the keyword is unstructured. What is unstructured data? Maybe let's start there. Okay, Sharon, you're saying B, AI powered classification. Yes, AI will be able to read unstructured data better than any other method here. So let's go to number 9. An organization wants to use a pre-trained classifier to identify proprietary source code. Why might this be more efficient than creating a custom classifier? So the organization wants to use a classifier that came with the product. They don't want to create their own custom one to identify proprietary source code. So they're asking, why might this be more efficient than creating a custom classifier? Okay, Sharon is saying C. Pre-trained classifier is already trained. Yes, it's already trained. You're right, and it's ready for use. So you were correct. So sometimes when you go for an exam, they'll ask you questions. You'll see some of the questions they'll make sense, even if you don't know the answer. You can see that this one makes more sense. Okay. What are the three methods Microsoft Purview provides for data classification? So what are the three methods that Microsoft Purview uses for data classification? You should know the answer to this one. Okay, I'll give you a hint. Okay, Puleng is saying C, Sarah is saying C, correct. Okay, let's go to number 11. What is the primary difference between a trainable classifier and a sensitive information? I think this we touched on. You should know this answer by now. Yeah, this one you should know the answer. Even a hint, I can click a hint. Yes, Sharon, you're correct. A, yes, Puleng, you're correct. It's A. Okay, which of the following is the limitation of a trainable classifier? We did discuss this. What's the limitation? Okay, I think this one we did talk about it. I think it's repeating this question because we did touch this one. It's limited to Microsoft, no? Microsoft SharePoint, OneDrive, Microsoft ecosystem. Okay. So a company wants to classify all documents related to a new internal project which has a specific unique name but no other structured patterns. What would be the most efficient classification method? So they want to classify all documents, hmm, but they have no structured patterns. So it's unstructured um, data. So what would be best to be used for unstructured data? I'll show you a hint. Keyword. Remember, they want to use unique keyword, no? Okay, let's look at this one. Number 14, document fingerprinting is a useful custom SIT for which of the following scenarios? So remember, you have to know what this means. Document fingerprinting. Let's go back to Microsoft platform, then you can see the document fingerprint. Yes, Sharon, Mondays and Wednesdays, you can join 7:30 p.m. The data loss prevention classifiers sensitive information type, create fingerprint-based SIT. This is the one. So remember, I gave you an example that let's say I work in HR and I want the HR system to be able to detect all the CVs that are being sent or all the CVs that are being processed in the company. So we're gonna have to use this one, fingerprint-based sensitive information type. We're gonna have to upload a couple of CVs onto this platform. You can see it shows the upload, and then once we upload, then the system will be able so basically, we are training the system to be able to identify what a CV should look like. So this is what they use for ATS, application tracking systems. So when you guys apply for jobs, you're not being rejected by a human being, you're being rejected by a system which has been trained to identify CVs. So it depends on what kind of CVs they used to train that system. So if they used a particular structure for a CV template, and then your CV looks completely different from what the system was trained on, then your CV will be rejected, even if you qualify for that job. Okay, let's look at number 14. Document fingerprinting is a useful custom SIT for which of the following scenarios? So which scenario would work best for document fingerprinting? Is it A, when you want to define a sensitive data pattern using dictionary of keywords, or is it B, when you need to detect all documents that are based on a specific? Okay, Sharon, you say B. Correct answer is B. Yes. Okay, let's look at the last question. What is the key purpose of offensive language pre-trained classifier in Microsoft Purview? So why would I use this classifier in Microsoft Purview? To detect what? What is offensive language? Yes, Sarah, you're correct. It's B. Like I said, like I give an example, I detected something the other day. Two guys were swearing at each other. System was able to send me an alert, and I could see they was throwing F bombs at each other on the email. So I'll come here, classifiers, trainable classifiers. Okay, it's taking some time. Okay, yeah, scroll down. These ones come with the this platform when you buy it. Okay, you can see here, profanity. And you can see it's different languages here, but obviously I go for this one, English. Detect specific category of offensive language text. It gives you examples of like how you can use it, where to use it. I wasn't sharing, so let me share this one. Yeah. Okay. Now you can see the screen. Yeah. There's the trainable classifier here. Then I came here on profanity. This is the trainable classifier that will detect specific category of offensive language text. And this one comes with the system, so it's ready to use. So okay, that was what I wanted to show you guys for today. Um, Wednesday we're going to move on to the next section, show you more practical exercises of what we do in terms of data security. And yeah, if you don't have any other questions, we'll meet on Wednesday. If you have questions, you can also contact me on all the social media platforms. I'll respond: TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Um, I'll leave my details on the description of this video also. And then, yeah, let's meet again after 7 p.m. Wednesday. Yeah, thank you guys for joining. So let's see each other then.